everybody, welcome to Stamping with Melva. I'm Melva Peters and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in British Columbia, Canada. And you can find me online at stampingwithmelva.com. It's Tuesday night and I'm here with a sketch challenge like I am every Tuesday night. So I hope you enjoy this one. It's got a few layers to it, but they're not complicated layers. It's just kind of adding some texture and some other colors just to kind of, I don't know, it's got some layers to it. You don't have to put the layers on if you decide not to, but I've kind of matted all of the layers that are on here. So I hope you enjoyed. Hey, Catherine, welcome. I'm making a Halloween card. I don't know what's going on with me this year. I don't usually make Halloween cards, but I'm having fun with a couple of the bundles that I have from the mini catalog. And so one that I have been sharing is Scary Cute. And the latest one I got is Bewitching, which is a punch bundle. And I saw some really adorable cards using this. So the Bewitched is the hats. I'll show it to you with. There's one boots and socks that is just really cute. So that's what I'm going to be using tonight. And yeah, let me get started. Now the sketch will go live at about 7 o'clock on my Facebook page group and on Instagram. So if you miss the measurements as I go through, check out social media at about 7 and you'll be able to find the sketch and download it. All right. I hope that's not blurry for you. I'm hoping it's just my computer that's a little blurry. But anyway, so this is a sketch. And as I said, it's got a few layers to it. And if you don't want to add in these, you know, the mats behind some of these layers, you can leave them out. Hey, Becky, welcome. Somebody else is coming in from Facebook but hasn't given StreamYard permission. So whoever that is, hello. Hey, Betty, oh, glad you made it. Okay, so the card base is 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4 1/4. And it is a portrait fold card. No, sorry, a landscape card. Layer number 1, which is this blue layer, is 4 inches by 5 1/4. Layer 2 is the white, 3 3/4 by 5. This kind of light yellowy orange, I know there's a color, I think it's called goldenrod, is 1.5 by 5. I'm not sure where that came from. That's a blast out of the past. So that's 1.5 by 5. And then this layer that's orange is 3 1/4 by 3 1/4. Hey, Nancy. The gray layer is 3 inches by 3 inches. And then for the sentiment, now I've said for the blue, 3/4 of an inch by 3 1/4. And then the white is a 1/2 inch by 3. You can adjust that to whatever it is that works for your sentiment. Okay, and remember, if you've missed any of those measurements, I'll probably repeat them as I go through and make the card, but it will also be on social media in about just under half an hour. Okay, so as I said, I am using, oops, I meant to take this out because it's got this horrible glare from my light, this really cute bundle. So this is the Bewitching bundle. It's got these 3 hats plus these boots are so cute, a spider and then some stars. And then the punch will punch out the hat. I can hardly see that. There we go. The hat, the band, and then the stars. Just really cute. So let me bring in, I've got a few layers with all my layers. Okay, let's take that out, that out. Okay. All right, so here's my layers. So I'm using basic black. I need my cutter, my trimmer, just to score. There we go. So my piece is 5.5 by 8.5, and I'm going to score it at 4 1/4. Put my trimmer over there so I don't drop it. All right, and then as always, fold towards the raised line. And give it a good crease. And then my layer number 2, actually I think it's layer number 1. Yeah, this is layer number 1, is pumpkin pie. I don't use much pumpkin pie, I have to admit, but here I am. Hey, Jenny, welcome. All right, so this was 4 inches by 5 1/4. Then I've got a piece of basic white that is 3 3/4 by 5. Now this is the gingham cottage. And I think I was just telling Betty last night on my class, maybe. I can't believe when I first saw this, I thought, "Ugh, I'll never use it." And then I ended up getting I got a quarter share. I had a leftover share from my product share. So I have a quarter share of it, and I'm really loving it. So this is a piece. This is the orange and black. I'm not sure which side of that I'm going to use. And then I've got basic black, 3 1/4 by 3 1/4. And then white is 3 inches by 3 inches. That's going to be a thick card. I don't think I'm going to be using too many dimensionals on this. And then this is my 3/4 of an inch by 3 1/4, and then 1/2 inch by 3 inches. So that's my layers. So let's start adhering some of these layers together. And then our card hopefully will come together. So we'll put this on. If you wanted to, you could emboss the white layer, for example. I think I've got enough going on that I'm not going to do that. But if you wanted to, you absolutely could. And then I will adhere this one. Get our card base partly assembled anyway. The fun part's going to be stamping the witch's hat. Oh, yay, Betty, your gingham cottage came. You're going to have fun with that. I know you said it was. All right. Thoughts about that way or that way? Okay, while you guys give some thoughts, I'm going to just bring out the rest of my stuff and get it ready. We're going to do some stamping. So I won't lay that piece on until you guys give me a hint. So I'm going to use my Stamparatus. Now, I don't know if you're like me, but sometimes black side, like that, Catherine says. Okay, there's one vote. Sometimes I find it hard to get a really dark layer, a dark image when you're stamping with black. So I'm using tuxedo black. So the Stamparatus works really well for this. So what I'm going to do is I want to make sure I get a really solid black layer for my hat and also the boots. So the first thing I want to do is, and also the other thing that I find it hard to do is make sure that I can actually punch this out. So I've got a piece of basic white here. I'm going to find my inside before I think that's my inside that I'm managing to cut. Yes, okay. All right, we'll do this one. So the way I do this, I think I stopped talking while I realized I had my wrong piece in here. I find it hard to get my stamps positioned in such a way that it's easy to just put my stamped images in and punch. Now it's not quite so bad because I'm only punching the hat out, but I create a template just using a piece of basic white, and then that way I know that if I line my stamps up with that template, I can easily insert it and punch it out. So I'm just going to layer my template on top of my piece that I want to stamp on. And now I'm going to lay my stamps inside so that I can feel kind of where it's sitting in the cutout. And at the same time, I'm going to position that on there. And now I've got my stamps in position, and I'm going to take my memento. Now what this does for you, if I can get my memento lid off, is it allows you to keep applying black ink. So by using the template, it allows you to position it always in the same spot. And I've got quite a juicy memento, but now I can just keep pressing down. And if I need to, when I lift this up, I find that it isn't dark enough, Or in this case, I have got to shift my piece a little bit. I may have to redo that. My piece shifted on me. I should have my 2 magnets, but one of my magnets has disappeared. All right, let me grab another piece of paper. Try not to. I should find my other magnet, but it's okay. I am going to just position that. These really are, magnets are very strong. Very strong. All right, there we go. I'm going to have to lift these off. We'll put that there. We'll put my template on there. Let's put that like that. And now we'll position this again. Try not to have it shift on me. And then this can go, I think I've got room. Right like that. Okay, let's try this again. And hopefully it won't shift. All right, so we'll lift that up. There we go. Just gonna shift it a little bit. You know, hopefully that'll be all right. Okay, where's my ink here? Now we ink this up, ink these up. Hopefully that'll work. I probably could remove that template. Okay, so I'm gently going to lift this up. That's a little better. Okay, so mine's not too bad. Hey, Lynette. Hey, Darlene. But I can still see a little bit of white. So you can re-ink this. And just keep applying the black until you get this to be as dark as you want. And I expect that 2 layers, oh, that's much better for these being very solid black. So if you've got a Memento ink pad that is just not very, you know, maybe it needs to be re-inked, then this will work really well for you because you can keep just applying your ink until you get it. Until you get it to the darkness that you want. And now I can just take, and I still think I have to cut this a little bit. Oops. All right, so now I can just take and punch that out. Now I'm just going to, and I actually meant to stamp those on there. Well, let's try this again. We're just having a night here. I meant to use a different piece. So this is my 3 inches by 3 inches. So we will just ink this up because I wanted to, I'm going to put my, hat, my witch's hat over top of this. I'm just going to hope that that's dark enough. Oh, and then I get it. A halo. Gee. Betty, you were telling me you were watching Diane and she was having a rough day. There we go. Well, this is maybe my rough night. Okay. All right, let's see. Okay, Darlene, you're going to Alaska. Yay. One of these days I'm going to do that cruise. All right, I've had 2 votes for the black. So I think I'm going to use that one. So let's just take and adhere this down. Just roughly in the middle. Okay. And then this piece is going to adhere onto this black mat. So this is the 3-inch square that I've stamped onto the 3 1/4 inch black. And I'm going to take and I'm going to color these stalks. I bet you were going to call me Diane. Yeah, I know. It's one of those nights. Things just aren't working the way they should. But you guys don't know about that. You never have these kind of issues. All right, so I'm just going to stamp or color using my blend. This is the dark. And then this buckle. There we go. So that's going to go on like that. And that's going to go on like that. All right. So I'm not going to, I think I will pop up the hat and maybe the sentiment, but I'm going to keep most of this flat. Now I'm going to also color my witch's hat. Now you could color these in different colors, but I'm just kind of adding the orange. This is going to be an orange and black theme. So you could use your marker. You don't have to use a blend if you don't have the poppy parade, the petal pink. Oh, you know, it's been a long day. You really should call me Diane. The pumpkin pie. There we go. We'll get it right. So we'll use dimensionals on the hat. I saw somebody made a spinner card with, I assume, a penny underneath, and so the hat spun. It was just so adorable. Okay, so now I've got, let's see if I can do this. I've got the sentiment. Now I'm going to stamp, I'm going to use the happiness, the Halloween happiness, and I think I've got room for both. But how do I stamp a stamp that is double on top of each other? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use some masking paper. So I'm just going to take a piece of the masking paper and cut it to be about 1/2 inch. And then I'm going to take my take your pick tool and take the backing off. And first I'm going to cover over the Halloween, or sorry, the happiness. And then I'm going to ink up my stamp. And now I'm going to take that off. And I'm going to stamp, oh, I hope I get this straight. Halloween, yeah, not too bad. Not perfect, but not too bad. And then I'm going to put this back on over top of the Halloween. Maybe I'm going to cut another piece because that really doesn't want to stick. So let's cut another piece. You can do this with Post-it notes as well. So now I'm going to, wrong one, cover the Halloween, and now we're going to ink this up and take that off, and we'll see. Oh, well, okay, I'm just going to assume that's straight, or I'm going to pretend that I actually meant it to be as crooked as it is. And then we will just put this on. I could cut them and then put them on, but I'm not going to. I'm just going to let it go and pretend that everything went okay, went perfectly tonight. There we go. Oops. Stick that on, and then we'll put some dimensionals on this and pop this up. So in the grand scheme of things, not much of that piece is going to actually show. So I probably could have gotten away with either. All right, let's put that like that. And then the last thing I want for the front is I just grabbed some rhinestones. There aren't any orange embellishments, but you can always take rhinestones. You can take just about any of our embellishments. And I'm just going to take and use, I'm using the dark Stampin' Blend. And I'm just going to take and color 3 of them using the dark Stampin' Blend. You really do need to use Stampin' Blends for this. And then we'll just take those. And now I've got coordinating embellishments. I thought about putting some of the black and white gingham on, but I think my card's got enough as it is. And somewhere I had I think I used my piece of basic white. Oh no, there it is, my piece of basic white. So let's take the spider. And we'll stamp the spider on the inside. Yeah, thanks, Betty. Yeah, you know, you go with the flow. Some days are just, things aren't meant to go on straight. That's my theory. And so let's stamp this kind of creepy spider. Oh, actually, he's kind of cute. He's got a kind of googly eyes. So now we can take this and adhere it on the inside of the card. All right, that is my card. Here's my sketch. So I stayed pretty true to the sketch. Lots of things you could do. Thank you. Lots of things you could do with that sketch. Whether you used, you embossed the background, or you used designer series paper, or you did a little more stamping, or even just used designer series paper on that piece where I stamped and put the hat and the boots. You could do all sorts of things with this sketch, I think. So I hope you give it a try. Oh, thanks, Darlene. Yes, if you are so inclined, feel free to share this YouTube video or Facebook video if you can. I'd love for you to share it, to like it. Let me know. Give me a comment on it. That's great. Okay, and don't forget, if you're coming in through YouTube and you haven't already, hit the subscribe button and you'll get notified when I go live. All right, I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you play around. It doesn't have to be a Halloween card, just can be any card. And if you're in my Facebook group, don't forget to share, because every month I do a draw and send some lucky people some happy mail. In fact, I've got them in the mail. They will go in the mail for those the 3 that I drew from last month, as well as all my customer thank you cards. They will go in the mail as soon as we're out of isolation. My husband has COVID, and so he's kind of isolating in our bedroom, and I have the rest of the house. I actually am fine, and fingers crossed that I will stay fine. But Friday is the day that we are allowed to go out of the house. All right, everybody. Hope you had a good evening. I will be back on Thursday night with a mystery challenge. And so the clues to the mystery challenge will go live about 9-ish on Thursday morning Pacific. It's going to be another Halloween themed challenge. And so I'm listing about 9 or 10 different things that you can choose from and make a card. So I'm going to choose 3 or 4 of them and make a Halloween card. So you'll see the theme is quite Halloweeny. So, all right, everybody, thanks for joining me. I hope you have a great evening. Happy stamping. Bye.